In this video, I'm going to show you the BirdBuddy camera module holder file. I'm going to show you how to adjust it in the Glowforge interface and in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about its features. So the reason I created this item was I have an in-window bird feeder, and I wanted to be able to put my BirdBuddy in that housing instead of in the housing it comes with. So what I did was I created a multi-layered laser cut file. There's plenty of 3D printed ones, but I don't have a 3D printer, so I created this. It uses 1/8, 1/16, whatever, as well as 1/4 inch. You could also make it all out of 1/8 inch, but it's just gonna be more layers. So what it does is there's two options. There's one that has a flat bottom so that it can kind of stand up like this one. And then there's a fully rounded option as well. And in the back, there's a T-shaped channel, and I've shrunk this a little bit from here, that would slide over a screw or a flathead nail just to add a little bit of security, because I cannot trust the squirrels in my area and they knock these things over all the time. This is what it looks like. So it's just a layered item. I used clear and white because that's what I had on hand, and it has a large opening in the back so that when you place the BirdBuddy in, the bump out can fit there, and then you can put your magnet. And the magnet is what allows the BirdBuddy camera to work. So without the magnet on the back, it won't turn on. So here's the back. We see our bump out. There's also an additional optional layer that has a circle just for the magnet. So you could glue the magnet permanently into the housing. I just didn't find that necessary personally, but it is an option for those who would like that. So you can see I have 4 layers of 1/4 inch and then 2 layers of 1/8 inch white. And then here's what it looks like when you place the magnet on the back. So there's plenty of room for the bump out. It does fit pretty securely. It's as long as you have this many layers, it's not going to really tip out. And then here is my magnet. And then you can see what I've even done for additional security is I've just added a little metal circle on the inside of this window just to kind of hold it in place. But you don't need that with the screw in place. It's not going to tip out and drop the BirdBuddy down onto the first floor, because this is a second floor window. So that was part of my thought process in making it a little more secure. So let's look at the actual file, and that is right here. So here it is in Adobe Illustrator. It's very, very simple. It is 3 to 4, so you could add an extra inner layer of 1/4 inch, and then your front plate, which just has no T so that it won't slide all the way across on the screw, and then your 2 back plates. So this back plate is optional. This would hold your magnet. This is for your bump out. And then the wall hanging one just has some spaces for screw holes so that you could screw it into a fence post or onto a wall, or even, I'm sure there's like a windowsill or somewhere other way that you might want to mount this. Now, if you want to change the magnet hole sizes, you can see those are set as a different step. All you do is click them and in Illustrator, hit transform, and then change them to the size of magnet. So let's say you're doing a 12mm magnet. You just set 12 for both your size here, and it will change it here. So I believe this is set for like a 20mm because it's like a nice big size. You can use whatever you want. If you have a square magnet or a rectangular magnet, that will usually also fit. And this just allows you to glue it into this plate here and then apply it on the back. Now, if you want an additional layer on the back so that you can glue it over and thus not see the magnet all the way from the back, all you do is ignore this step here, and it will work perfectly fine. So those are the main pieces. You also have this little T-shape here. This will allow you, if you cut this out, it will allow you to see exactly how deep to put your screw. So if you just hold it up to your screw and then screw your screw in, or tap your flathead nail in, as long as the flat area is within this window, this will slide right on. So let's take a look at that quickly in the Glowforge. If you don't have Adobe Illustrator, but you are using a Glowforge, and this will work for pretty much any laser, it's very simple. But if you're using a Glowforge, all you have to do to adjust your magnet hole size, if you want to create this optional back layer, is to select that layer, hit ungroup, or double click into it, and that will take it into isolation mode. Click this item, which is your magnet hole, and then just type in the correct size of what you want. So if you want to change that to, excellent, clicked out here. If you want to switch that, so this is height and width, to a 1/4 inch magnet, you can say 0.24, then do the same here, 0.24. Now that's pretty small. I don't know if that'll work for the BirdBuddy, but you can also type in something like 25mm, and it will adjust it. or it should. There we go, 25 millimeters. And that will allow you to create the right size hole for your magnet. So very simple to use. You only really need this 1, 2, and then however many inner layers based on the thickness of your acrylic or wood. And it will work with pretty much any material. If you decide to make it from 1/8, just know you'll want to cut at least 6 inner layers. And then if you want to make it only from 1/4 inch, that's also perfectly fine. It will work. It won't be any issue. The only problem you might have is if this is a 1/4 inch deep, the magnet on this layer wouldn't reach. So you would just want to do a loose magnet like what I had shown in my original picture, where you just stick a magnet on the back of the bird buddy to activate it. So hopefully that gives you a sense of how to use the file. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'm happy to offer support.